Hello, everyone. We are live. I'm excited to jump back into our weekly binge discussions here. And this episode is actually going to center on the entirety of a season of a Netflix show called The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window, which I'm pretty sure that's the title. It's the longest title ever. Starring Kristen Bell. And this is a show that I was very excited to bring into the fold for us at Nom Talk because it features some very distinct food choices and drink choices. I would say it has its own iconic realm of foods here because you have the excessive wine drinking and the casseroles, you know? So before we jump in on what we thought about the show, I wanted to introduce you all to our guests who are going to be participating in a lively conversation about this murder mystery whodunit that it was featured on Netflix. So we're going to start with Mike. Tell the people what you do.
Hey guys, so it's Michael Lee, and I write for That's It LA, We Live Entertainment, The Nerds of Color, Geeks of Doom, multitude of other places as well. So yeah, that's what I do, and I'm excited to get into this.
And Stephanie.
Hi. I'm Stephanie. I'm the producer of Nom Talk Network on the functional, clickety-click side, so don't mind me. I'm part of the team. Really happy to be on the show with Sabina, talking about murder mysteries while clickety-clickety.
Yes. Thank you for the clickety-clicketing. It is essential here. But yeah, let's jump in on the show. This was such a random little gem that was popped onto Netflix at the start of the year that I'm, surprised this hasn't gotten the cult following that I think it should. I think it's starting to kind of take traction, but it's definitely one of those shows where I definitely binged through it. Confession, I kind of worked on it a little bit at one of my former jobs. So I actually had to hold on to my thoughts about this for so very long. And I've been so excited to have my friends see it. I worked on it very lightly. It was just in the marketing of things. So we got to preview it. But yeah, no, it is freaking hilarious. And just for me personally, both, because I watched it both through work, but also when it dropped on Netflix, it was just a complete binge, almost in one sitting for me, because I wanted to know what happened. And just when you watch it a second time, you catch a bunch of little things you didn't catch the first time. If you guys want to go around and tell us, was this something that you binged very quickly, or did you kind of dole it out?
So I first came upon this show when I was scrolling and it said what's trending. It says, you know what? I'll give this a chance. It's Kristen Bell, but it's got the longest title. I can't even remember what the order of the title is. But once I watched it, I was like, oh, this is intriguing. It's got that soapy kind of drama-ish thing going on there, and I couldn't help but follow it up with another episode, and I didn't know at the time how many episodes there were, so I didn't even bother looking at the episode count. So I just kept on going, this thing keep going because I need more of this. And when I found out it was the last episode, I was this can't be the last episode. I need more. So yeah, I binged it probably in 2.5 days at least. Yeah, work and everything, but yeah, I watched it and I loved it.
Fair. I mean, oh crap, hold on, what the heck? Why is there popcorn on here? Oh well, sorry, disregard the popcorn. My bad.
Popcorn sounds good right now.
I have pictures of popcorn all across my screen. Anyways, it's just fine. Anyways, no, I think I binged this in a day and a half. Just because, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was a movie. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be fine. It's just a movie. I didn't think about it.
Hold on, I'll be back quickly.
But I was just so confused of wait, what is the suspense? Where is this coming from? Why are we what do you mean do I want to keep watching? Like, of course I want to keep watching, but I thought this was a movie. Well, that was my dad.
I like how it starts off being like, the girl in the train, or like Gone Girl, where it's like, you think that it's just maybe in her head and like maybe she's the one who's behind it, but then it starts to drop in the most absurd elements. Like, I think, where she's like mixing her medication with her wine drinking, and just the way that she fixates on things, or her fear of the rain because of like whatever happened
the
with
trauma.
the trauma.
Oh my gosh, that was like, oh wow.
Like,
I didn't think they could tie that in though. Yeah.
Like, I felt bad, but at the same time I was like, girl, it rains like a lot where the set is.
I thought it was like a genuine phobia at first, and I'm like, okay, that's a strange phobia, and then all of a sudden you get to see this whole backstory and the tragedy of it all. Like, oh my gosh, I feel so sad now.
It's so sad, but also
I was mocking her
horrific.
I was like mocking her at first. Like, rain is, I love rain and everything. Like, why wouldn't someone be so afraid of rain? Like, oh, I get it now. It was bad.
It was just confusing.
And I was just so shocked at how it went there with what happened to her daughter. Like,
oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What the
gosh.
Like, and at first we get that fake out where like she's talking to her in the house in the first episode, and then she's a ghost, or like her imagination. And then you find out what happened to her, where it's like, it was take your daughter to work day, and my husband was like bringing in like a crazed cannibal killer, and he like she's left alone with him, and basically they're like, yeah, he ate her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I did not expect it to get that dark.
Yeah, no, there was no reason for it to be dark. Also, Daddy, why are you failing and leaving your child unattended with somebody who eats people? Like,
why are you bringing it?
Go ahead.
Yeah, why are you bringing her on that side of the room? Shouldn't she be on the other side with the police or somebody else? But hey, that's just my parental skills.
Right? I'd be like, here, meet officer, blah, 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 blah. He's gonna keep you safe on this side of the glass while I go interrogate this bad guy, okay? You're proud of Daddy. And then just, what?
I know, it's like,
but that's a part of the show, though. I mean,
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can nitpick it all I want, and then wait, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't be as fun. So yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it makes sense as to like why the setup happens there, where like obviously that family was broken apart because of the crazy circumstance. I don't know why Gus is screaming his head off right now.
Dramatic.
Gus, he has opinions about the show and of the different characters in this. Gus. Okay. But yeah, so like in the first episode we're introduced to like Anna, and she is, you're led to believe that she's imagining things, she's a drunk, she's crazy. A lot of these sort of like tropes that are kind of like put on women, especially in this like genre of storytelling. But then like as the episodes progress, you kind of get to see how like she's not like the stereotypical character, even though it is like a very absurd comedy, especially when she does get to see like this freaking scary thing happen across the street from her to the girl in the window. You guys want to talk a bit about what you thought, about like the introduction of the neighbor and his daughter, and kind of like, that whole like interaction where, you're led to think that she's the threat and that they're in danger. Like, I thought that was really well done.
No, I thought that was particularly well done as well. It sort of played mind games with you. Like, is she just seeing things, or is the dad being very like overprotective because of his past experiences? But then you see those past experiences and you see like, wait a minute, there's a darker side to him. But again, it just, there's so many twists and turns to that unexpectedly come about, and it just kept on guessing. Like, you know what? It's always focusing on Kristen Bell character. I can't even remember the name right now because
Her name is Anna.
Really? It's Anna?
Yes, it's Anna.
Okay,
That's like I like to interject a little bit on that. Like with these Netflix shows, because like we all have to watch them like separately. Like it's hard to kind of like reconvene and be like, oh yeah, this person's name, like, you know. But yeah, so Anna, it's Anna, Anna.
Let it go.
Yeah, I was gonna say she should just let it go. Wasn't there a joke like that in the show?
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, it makes you question like who you can trust, and that's what I particularly liked about it. Is it because of her drinking, or is it because she's paranoid, or can you trust the dad? But again, a lot of the twists that come about in the subsequent episodes keep you in that kind of guessing game, and I really like that.
Yeah,
I agree. Like when hi neighbor. When the first when they were first introduced, I was like, oh, okay, there's gonna be a romance, somebody's gonna get murdered, you know, just like the typical build-up of these sort of movies.
Like it's always the husband.
It's always
Yeah.
And they say it in every crime show in existence too. It's like it's always the husband or it's always the wife. It's like no matter who gets murdered and what, and nobody thinks about the child. We know about the child. And it's so funny because I was watching it with Alejandro, and he was even saying like, oh, how funny would it be if it was the daughter? And I just stared at him. I was like, oh my god. And at one point, like, you know, even when Anna, haha, I just realized how clever that was. But when she calls her ex-husband and is like, hey, so what's the history behind insert the guy who does all the repairs, his name? It's like, hey, what was the history on this? Because like I know that he was like you knew him or something, and he, you know, how the husband was like, oh yeah, he was also a murderer, and like
he was related to a murderer.
Yes.
And like
he got rehabilitated, and yeah.
And like we were taking care of him, and then like meanwhile the entire time he's like living in her attic. Like what?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then it's like it makes you question like where does the repair guy go? Like do they really go home, or do they like find a place and hide and live there because they might as well if they're gonna be working on your place for an extended period of time? But yeah, I feel like the guy with the girl in the house or in the window across the window. I feel like we're just gonna have fun trying to like.
His name is Neil. So Neil is the hot neighbor, the hot single dad neighbor is Neil, and the daughter is Emma.
I'm just gonna pull this image of the list of characters and their names. And
this is a really big ensemble, and honestly. But everyone in the show was like, they knew the assignment, which I loved. That they knew what movie they were in, what was the vibe, and they all really just like nailed like their roles. Because even like, you know, bringing up the creepy repairman guy, like he was so like suspicious, but then obviously like kind of like not all there to where we're like, is it him, or is he like just someone who is just, you know, like unconsciously creepy, you know?
Yeah.
Then you also the really competitive like neighbor Carol, who was like
Carol.
The frenemy.
Oh.
I hate Carol.
I hated her, but I loved her. She was like, I used to pray for you, but you're no longer in my prayers. Not in my prayers. I was like, oh my god.
And we know people like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my god, they manifested this person that we knew in our lifetime and threw her on television. So well too, like
the PTA mom.
good job, Brenda.
You know, oh my gosh.
I'm just going through like the list of okay, so like
Even she was suspicious too.
yeah, I was kind of hoping it was her or her husband.
Because we never see the husband and we're just like, where is he?
Exactly. Are you actually married or are you separated and you're just hiding? No, wait, he showed up once.
Oh, he did?
Like taking things out of the trunk or something like that. It was like completely pointless, but yeah. I was really, really hoping that it was gonna be her who was the killer.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, like I really like the scene in the grocery store where she's just like throwing mad shade at Anna and like, I tried to help her and like getting all this credit or whatever, you know, like damn, like the whole town was definitely like not there for her, which didn't help in like her like mental state, because like she was
Hold on.
Yeah, she was questioning a lot of herself, basically.
Yes.
That I would have to agree.
Yeah, that gaslight was real. Within herself and around her. Like, that gaslight was heckin' real. And that's where I felt bad for her.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then she had her sister, like even her sister was like a bit, you know, it was her sister, right? Sloane is her sister, or were they like
was that
just
her
good
friend
friends?
or her sister? Like,
Oh, her friend. I don't know.
I think yeah.
Yeah, friend, but like
Yeah, drinking buddy friend.
drinking buddy friend.
Because she helped out with the art
with the art gallery.
too, right? Yeah.
Oh, I love the detail of like every time Anna was painting, it's a different painting. It's never like the same.
Yo, that gravestone too. Like, I want to Google the list of things that were on the gravestone and like a list of the
It
different
was
pictures
always
that she was painting.
changing. Yeah.
And I feel like that's what makes it such a show that you can keep rewatching, because then you'll be able to like pay more attention to what she's painting or pay more attention to what is on the tombstone. Like, such an interesting like concept.
Yes. Where did Mike go?
I know.
Oh no, I think
So
our
Sabina.
dogs are wilding out. If that might be what's happening.
Aw, I'm like, is there like a water or like moon thing happening? I don't know these things, but like sometimes I'm starting to get nervous. Like, what if something bad's gonna happen? Because that's
Oh, Gus, are you warning
drink
us?
about it.
No,
Just drink about it.
no, please no.
Gus is the early warning system.
Or maybe they're like, Bart, mention that goddamn casserole. Was it the same casserole every time?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, what kind of casserole was it actually? Was it just a general?
I think it was
I
a
was thinking it was like-
chicken casserole. I don't think it was tuna. I think it was chicken. Like it was something weird.
Okay. So I'm gonna look
And-
it up and it's like, I want to make a chicken casserole.
It made me want a casserole. I was like, is there like a way I can do like a gluten-free version of this? Because like just like creamed casserole with like chicken or
I'm
tuna
sure there is.
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
The answer is
Chicken
yes.
casserole.
Yes, with like a big, just a wine glass poured all the way to the top.
Right to the rim. Yeah, exactly.
And not just any wine glass. The wine glass that's big enough to fill the whole bottle of wine. And that's what, 30 fluid ounces or some mishmash like that?
God, yes.
I would, yeah. It has to be.
I want to know what they used instead of wine. I wonder if it was like prune juice, like to like substitute, you know?
That would be a good question for the production designers and all
Well,
that. Yeah.
Right, Mike? What's your speculation? What would you think they would put in there?
Grape juice, wine.
So is there, for like white wine, it would be grape juice.
Yeah.
The white grape juice, and then the red stuff I think would be either like cranberry or maybe the red grape juice. Yeah.
Well, whatever it was probably really good for your digestive health.
Doesn't that mean she would have to poop a lot on set from drinking so much of it?
Yeah, if it's cranberry juice too, it'd be like, yeah, it's a diuretic, so you're gonna go with that.
Let's hope it wasn't like prune juice one day. Like,
we slipped you prune juice instead.
Not gonna lie, if it's like one of those spoof shows, like I would, and it's Kristen Bell. She's a good sport. Like,
Oh yeah, she would be down.
she would be so down. Of like, I wonder what flavor we're drinking today. It's just like random flavor. I do feel bad for all the casseroles that fell on the floor.
Oh my gosh. But the horror of all the ceramics and everything just shattering and the food just like splattering everywhere. Like, what?
Then the rain. Also, like whenever you hear the creepy like little girl voice singing "Rain, Rain, Go Away," it's actually Kristen Bell.
What?
Ooh, that is. So we need to have her sing a creepy song in Frozen. No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, yeah, because Tracy Hines did one of those like,
Yeah,
do
she
you want
did
to
a
build a
creepy
snowman,
one,
but
yeah.
super creepy, and I want Kristen Bell to at least react or duet that, because come on, Belle, I know you're out there somewhere in the interwebs. I know you are. I'm gonna tag the
I'm gonna share
heck
this
out of
link to
you.
I
Belle.
hope she watches this because, like,
Yeah.
I want more people
If
to
you're
talk about
hearing
this show.
Yes.
It's so good. Although, if you're watching this, you've seen it because we were just talking about the spoilers. And before we go deep into like all the different like red herrings, because they had obviously the neighbor was set up as a red herring. They had the boyfriend of the woman who died was set up as a red herring.
Hustler, yeah.
Yeah, the hot guy Rex. And like, so let's go around and like talk about who we first thought was the killer when we started watching.
I thought it was the dad, just like flat out, because once was it the flight attendant was gone missing, it's like it has to be the dad. Oh, I mean, yeah, I thought it was the dad at first.
I wanted it to be Carol, but when I was first watching it, like I was falling for the gaslighting. At one point, I was like, maybe she is hallucinating. Maybe she.
Oh,
Like the thing with medications, like, huh?
Yeah,
like so certain medications have side effects of like sleepwalking, and people can do like, and they have no control of it because it's all subconsciously like embedded in them. But like they could walk up miles. They could like literally go and take a shower or go and eat something. Like it, you never know. So with all the gaslighting,
I
it's
like
like,
that.
well, you know, you shouldn't be taking your medication while drinking alcohol. It's like she pounded both equally. Like I was
I
wondering if she
heard
was eating.
Yeah. And then you wonder, like, no wonder at the end when you find out she's taking way too much medication. Also, to jump ahead a little, for her husband to have been her psychiatrist and like prescribing her these drugs like crazy. What?
Oh.
And he was like, oh, I guess I shouldn't have given you that much antipsychotic. I'm like, what was your goal, sir?
Also, I was like, also, it happens a lot. Like, sometimes they kind of overestimate what you should. And I'm not saying don't trust doctors. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I've had a horrible, horrible history with it. I'm not crazy. I know what I am. And it's not normal. But the amount of medication that they made me take was just outrageous.
Oh, no.
I feel
Everyone
like-
has to, like, know what they can handle and
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
So-
And she clearly was just tossing them back like Skittles with the
What
wine.
if they were Skittles, like the non-colored guy?
Placebo.
The placebo effect.
Sugar pills. Just done sugar pills. Sugar pills and sugar juice.
Marty. Marty.
Marty.
Yeah, and then you like, oh my gosh, but you kind of have this idea, like, and I agree. Like at first, it kind of is set up where she's being very like intense toward the neighbor and the daughter, and kind of like seeking the comfort of, you know, maybe like a replacement family, and it kind of like, you know, leads you like to really see that as a possibility. But then also the dad is like really sketchy, and you're just like, are we in a situation like you where he's like a killer and she's also, oh my gosh, you know, like that was like the misdirects above what was really happening were just awesome. And like when you start to kind of peel that back and find out where the dad was really going, like with his puppeteering act, like it's not even a body, it's a puppet. He's like a stand-up comedian.
A horrible stand-up comedian.
Horrible. To cope with the death of his wife.
That's not funny. I'm sorry.
We can't help but laugh.
They had those like flashbacks of like, yeah. They had the flashbacks of what Anna perceived to have been like the situation of him killing his pregnant wife.
Yeah, that was really, like you said, it was a good misdirect. It's like, because you only see the husband and the wife at that time. It's like, okay, you know, it leads you to believe that the dad did it, obviously, and then they go and twist the knife again, and they, oh my gosh, it's not.
Yeah, no. This series left me with a dirty taste in my mouth and very, very hard trust issues.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because like she goes like all out to like investigate, you know, the sister of Emma's mom, and she's obviously protective of Emma, who like is also an artist like her, and ends up going to like the school that Emma went to and finding out about the field trip, which the field trip like sequences were also really like funny in like a gallows humor sort of way, you know, because obviously does not go well for that teacher. But also how like the lighthouse keeper was very excited to share his story. It was great.
It's like his only purpose there is to tell stories whenever people walk by.
It was so brutal.
I couldn't have imagined like liking this kind of a show at first. And like,
it just sucks you in. It just sucks you in.
That's the thing. With all these kind of inventive twists, not like new twists on the genre of it all.
And like the most ridiculous sort of like plots that you're just like, I can't look away. Like when the flight attendant's boyfriend breaks into her home and you're like kind of worried for her life, but then they build that tension of you're worried to her life, and then they turn that tension into sexual tension.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. All right, talking about that sexual tension.
Oh my god!
Yo.
I mean, that thing went on for like 3-4 minutes, right? Like, wow.
Yeah.
I was just raw. I mean, yeah.
I was like, good for you, Anna.
Yeah.
But
release some of that tension, yeah.
I've got a situational like issue with, you know how like she'll manifest like an idea or something that we think that's actually happening, but it's not happening, and she's just drunk and like passed out in her chair. The scene where she is basically self-appreciating herself in front of the window, watching the guy across the street, I'm just like, what was she actually doing in her sleep? Because at some point, like, there's a little tension from the man across the street in the other house in the window. Like, there was some tension after that, and I was thinking, like, was she actually, like, doing things in front of the window, and he can see her doing this thing and being like, oh, this creepy lady across the street.
Close your window, lady. Yeah.
I honestly, like,
be creepy about
it. I think that, you know, there was probably that going on. I don't know if he noticed, but he also kind of like was not a good guy to her, because he lied like he just didn't even bring up he had a girlfriend, you know?
Shade.
Like, the shade there. And like, honestly, when like the guy broke into her house and then they hooked up, I was like kind of into them as a pair. Like, I liked them together because he didn't know about some of the stuff that his girlfriend was doing, and like he was kind of like roped into some stuff. So like he was gaslit and manipulated, and she was gaslit and manipulated, and I was like, they're a better pairing. I thought that like and they clearly had really good fun together.
They were like kindred. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, the Rex guy.
Yeah.
They were kindred spirits. And then
they were kindred spirits.
Yeah.
But apparently somebody in the writing room was like, I don't like this romance working out. We need to change it.
You need to add more drama.
Right? She can't be happy.
She can't be happy.
Not yet, it's too soon.
It was so frustrating to see her, like, at the moment she was happy, like, okay, I feel better, she's great, and then like, no, like you were saying, Stephanie, she can't be happy. We got to add more drama and more frustration. Like, no, give her something to be happy about. Give her a little bit of joy.
Yeah, and then he like gets taken in too, right? I'm blanking a little bit on that. Like he also gets arrested.
Yes.
For a cool minute.
Yeah.
It's like he did not deserve that happening to him, even though he was sort of a part of like hustling the dad, kind of.
Yeah, he was.
It's a long hustle, basically.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we keep getting like all of the different clues as to like what is really happening, and like I forget at what point I kind of started to suspect Emma. I think it was when like she had like the little red carriage and the little flying, what are those called? The red wagon. She had her little red wagon.
The speed wagon. The red wagon or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, something fly, radio flyer or something.
Radio flyer. Yeah. I was like, what's this little girl doing with a radio flyer with a whole bunch of mysterious stuff? And I actually thought, I thought that the weapon was in the box of paints that Anna had given her in the beginning. I actually didn't think she went into the house to steal it. I literally thought, oh, like she accidentally gave it to her, because in the beginning they have her hand like a set of like a tin of like supplies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I thought that's how those supplies got to her. And like that's when I was like, oh yeah, like what if something was in there? And that's, you know, how that went down. But I think at that point they were trying to build that it was the landscaper, because like she goes across the street to chase after him, being in the house over there.
Yeah.
I like how the landscape, and that's how the thing too. He was so nonchalant about like the dead rodents and everything that he was always taking care of. He was like, yeah, all that blood that was there was because of this guy. Like, oh wow, it could be that guy. So at that point I was thinking, yeah, it could be him. And then I guess that's a testament to the writing, because I've always thought it was the dad. And then as soon as they leaned into the handyman, I was like, oh my gosh, it could be the handyman. Yeah. Props to the writing.
Oh yeah. It was interesting how subtle his character was up until the point of like, okay, let's throw this potential killer in the mix. They were just so good at keeping him like very subtle, like just some dude in the back, like you just walk right by him. And at one point I was like, maybe he's one of those like paid extras that have a little bit of a face, but he kept showing up, and I was like, oh, this is a character.
Oh, hey, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, like you were saying, he was just a character. But then you saw him, he was fixing stuff, and then he was actually interacting more with Anna and some of the other characters, like the gaslighting neighbor. And it was like, oh, okay, you know, in the back of my mind, he's not going to do that much. And then the way he was, like I said, nonchalantly talking about, I found the dead rodent, or you know, there was blood coming from the attic. Like, no, there's no blood coming from the attic, but I hear noises. Like, oh my gosh, it could be him. So that's I really liked how the writers just kept you guessing, and they're like, the person you least suspected could be the suspect, and which turned out to be true because it ended up being the little girl and all of it. So.
Yeah, seriously. I was like, when it was a little girl, I was like, I should have knew. I should have known. I should have freaking known. And
right?
Yeah.
I mean, all the clues were there. It's like the snowman thing. Like, I left you all the clues. You should have known it. Like, oh my gosh, that's right. All the clues were there, and we just didn't suspect it because all of these tie-ins that the writers did, making us think it's either the husband or the handyman, or even like you said, the gaslighting neighbor. So.
Yeah. Friggin' Carol. Jesus.
Carol.
See, I'm going to call it Carol.
I kept thinking, is her name Karen? I don't think it's Karen.
That would be too on the nose.
Right? It'd be too intentional. But I was also kind of hoping that the repairman was just painting things in the attic. Yeah. Like, I was legit hoping that he was going to be a very talented artist as well.
Just like the realization that he was there like every night, that she was hallucinating things. And like, I guess technically he probably was the one that would like bring her back into the house, or like from like her blackouts. He was definitely there when she was getting it on with that guy, which is crazy.
Oh, add a layer of creepiness to that thing right there.
No.
Oh my god.
See, now I'm like, well, he usually creaks in the night, but that time they were.
They were. Yeah, I mean, like, there's also all those scenes of the detective that were really funny. I loved all those like true crime exchanges with her and like trying to get down to it, and then, you know, she's like, are you sure you weren't just reading your book up too late? And kind of like,
yeah. And what was the name of the book? I think it was like The Woman in the Window or something like that. By
the lake next to the cabin.
One of those like grocery store like novels you would see in the book sections or whatever. So, yeah.
And the whole time, little Emma, she was playing all of them.
Yeah.
She doesn't even want a sibling. Jeez, all of that.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Oof. Just like those flashbacks of her with the mom, like, and what really went down. They were so intense. She literally was like, I'm not going to be replaced, and like did what she had to do.
Just to be the only child, yeah. Gee.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like that, but I never acted on it.
Yeah, anyone who's like the eldest child, we all should have clued in on that and been like, oh, she did the thing that none of us could do ever.
She did the dirty. She did it. Yeah.
Oh my god. But she was so good and so cute. I was like, why? But also terrifying the moment that she flipped, and like it reminded me of Orphan a little bit. Like,
yes,
those sequences. Yeah, like when she like was on the attack, I was like, I'm scared. Children are scary, y'all.
Yes, they are.
Oh man. Yeah, I feel like if y'all want to make a good scary movie, make the kid the bad guy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm not saying little kids don't know how to act. It's hard to find kids that have the capability of acting at a very young age. So when you find that gem, oh, it's creepy.
Yeah, let alone understanding the nuances of being able to flip that switch. Like, wow. Because she really played off as the, innocent, doesn't know any better kind of girl. Like, okay, it can't be her. Because I always thought it can't be her. There's no possible way. And then at that last episode, like, oh my God, they really did it. They really made her that
They went
bad
there.
guy. And yeah, they went there. And she really did a 180. It's like, wow, she's really dark, and they showed her doing the dirty to like everybody. Like everybody she killed.
Killed her dad, basically.
The girlfriend.
The
mom,
girlfriend.
like, wow.
The body count. The teacher at the lighthouse.
Oh,
Like
teacher.
she threw the teacher off the lighthouse.
Whew.
And the whole time the dad
It's like
had no clue.
she read these books, like these murder mystery books. Like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. So let's see.
They're gonna think it's my dad.
Yeah.
Say, like, what was her mom reading while she was pregnant with that child?
Terrifying. Oh my gosh, the stunt work on that, like she like literally jumped on Anna and was like Chucky almost, like just like stab. Oh my gosh.
Yes, that was very Chucky of her.
Yeah, like she was jumping and like moving really fast. I don't like when little kids can move like really fast, like toward you. Like that's freaky.
Oh my gosh, I just saw a clip of like behind the scenes of All of Us Are Dead with the little kids like practicing to be zombies. Oh, it's creepy. So creepy. No makeup.
I still have to watch that.
Just
oh my God.
the
I
capacity.
still have to watch that too. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. I need to find it and share it with you guys. But I just like I was skimming through and I was like, oh, look at those little kids trying to be zombies. And then when they like indicate that now you pay attention and chase the person, it's like, whoa, these children did not hold back. They gave it their all, and it was no, I don't like it.
I'm gonna find out who the little girl is because I gotta know.
I know Mike froze.
But, oh, Samara Yet. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Samara or Samsara?
Samsara.
Samsara Leela.
Okay.
She is so cute. Oh my gosh. I still want a child, even though that child and children in general can be very scary.
I literally like will drop my guard. Like, you know what? She doesn't seem like she's not gonna be causing any harm. And they're like, she'll kill me. Like,
There's a meme going around right now of Kim Kardashian had done like a Vanity Fair home tour, and she had like all these really beautiful like colorful paintings from her daughter, and she was like, oh, this is like a self-portrait of herself, and it's like rainbows but really well done. Like, oh my gosh, their daughter North is like so talented. And then she brought up a like a black chalk art, and it was like very like spooky, like a self-portrait that was super spooky and like swirly and everything. And Kim Kardashian was like, oh, this was just her emo phase, I think. And I was like, that is terrifying. And one of my friends was like, that's when you get an exorcism.
How old is North now?
I'm not sure. No, she's a little older than that. She has to be older than 5. She was 5.
So she's met the devil already. Got it.
I mean, like, she's going through a lot of traumatic things, I'm sure, just
in
the public eye.
Right now.
But she's an incredible artist, like, just like sidebar, just in general, like her art is like, wow, like it's super beyond her years. Because I can't tell you how old she is based off the art. Because I'm like, wow, she's so good. But yes, children can be scary, but also super talented. And clearly this kid was also an artist. So,
Sabina, are you indicating that any child that is interested and very talented in art you should keep a good eye on?
Keep a good eye on them. Make sure they're not possessed with the spirit of some ancient old artist trying to like continue to live on or something.
Michelangelo.
I don't know. Yeah.
Spirit of Michelangelo possesses the kid. Like,
I've always wondered.
Yeah, like it's when they start saying stuff like old memories or something, then you're just like, no, thank you.
Like, how do you know about that?
Wow, you paid really good attention to those documentaries, didn't you?
Oh my gosh. But yeah, like now, like I think overall the show did like a really good job to just like everything was ridiculous, but the build toward it made it so you couldn't like look away, and it like handled the tone I think so well that it sold you on like the bonkers stuff that just kept coming at you.
Yeah.
I agree. It was just when you think you got a handle on the show, no, they slap you with something else. It's like when just knowing what the end is now, I'm looking back and I'm like, how did I not know? How did I not see this?
Yeah, that's the thing. I kind of these like soapy like primetime soap dramas or like made for TV movies are like a guilty pleasure sort of thing, admittedly. Yeah. And then like, but it's always so generic and it's always typical of them. And then the way they twist it around, they added a little dark, but they also made it funny. And how they wove those two in together so perfectly. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't get enough of this show. So I hope there's more, but I know I always heard that there's it's a very limited series, I guess, like a one.
But they did give that like cliffhanger though.
They did give that cliffhanger though.
Yeah.
With Glenn Close.
That was another unexpected thing.
Yeah.
And then the way it ended on the plane, like, oh my god, now it's going to the sky. Like, what's going on?
Is it gonna be like Oriental Express? Obviously not Oriental.
Oh no.
Express.
Well, wasn't that I forgot the flight attendant. But the flight attendant, he was on Community. He was the guy from Civil War. Wasn't that the flight attendant? The bald guy? I forgot his name. Oh my gosh. Now I have to go back.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, like it definitely felt at the end, like once she had escaped things and got back together with her baby daddy. I was like, I guess.
Right.
Like I was like, what? And he like puts her on a plane to like go relax or whatever. And then it's like she just stumbled into a whole new situation, and Glenn Close was there, and then Glenn Close died, and then like it makes you think, did she kill Glenn Close? Like, what is going on here? I don't know. Yeah, because she had like, I don't drink any more wine, but I'll take that vodka. Like,
wow,
she's up her game. But yeah, that the guy I was talking about was Jim Rash. Yeah, that was him. And he was in that was the flight attendant. So like, okay, so he could be on it too, and yeah.
I hope it continues. I just want just things to get more and more like crazy, and I want Anna to eventually end up in space, like in some sort of wakes up in like those like cryogenic chambers and is like, how did I get here? And she has to figure out why the crew is dead or something. I don't know. Like it just has to like get
it's
even
like
more crazy.
Like the alien thing where her pod opens up. Yeah.
Or like, and then it makes you wonder if everything you saw beforehand actually happened or something.
What the heck? You did it. You did it, Sabina.
There you go. That's oh my gosh. We've got something going here.
Hopefully. More people need to watch the show so we can get more of this, because I will watch Kristen Bell do like the craziest stuff. And she's always so game to like fully commit to the most bizarre concepts, but still like bring out like a really authentic sort of performance. And like, I think that's the word, authentic, or like, you know, like she sells like everything she does. It's not, you know,
it's very convincing.
It's always convincing, and like even like the like you said, like some parts that we all thought should have been funny, we felt bad that we were laughing because like the circumstances were actually really sad, like the whole daughter being eaten by a cannibal thing, like.
But yeah, it's so absurd. Like you can't help but laugh. Like, oh my gosh, it's sad, but you got eaten by a cannibal. Like, what are the odds of that happening? You never hear that happen. It only can exist within that kind of a realm. So, well, hopefully it can only exist in that kind of a realm.
I was just like thinking, because I loved her in A Good Place or The Good Place.
Yeah.
And it's like, what if she came back, married, kid got eaten because somebody is dumb, and it's just because she just, I think her everything that she does is so convincing and so well, and like she does it so well because she can put her personality into the character as well. Like she's really good at incorporating the personality, and I think that's why Sabina, like you were saying, like she is down for whatever, and she does really, really well, like convincing us of her character because she throws a little bit of herself in there.
It's really much what Sabina was also saying earlier too, about doing the research, because they knew you had to know what you're getting into when you go to something like this with this kind of a material. So yeah, once you embrace it and you accept it for what it is, like okay, you can really go along with it. Oh,
is she mute?
I think she's mute. I was like, wait a minute.
I am muted. Dang. I was saying like
there's a dead silence, but she's moving her lips.
I think I was saying
looking at
stuff
everything
for
on the computer, like, what is happening?
I know.
Well, I mean, it's late.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I think overall the show, just like did it for me. Like there are random things on Netflix that pop on there that like I think deserve such a cult following. This is one of them. There was also another film called Frankenstein's Monster Frankenstein. I think that's what it's called. But David Harbour was in this. It's like a 45-minute long thing, and it's just bonkers.
Yeah.
And like that was really good, and that felt in the same sort of wheelhouse as this, where like everyone in it was just so committed to the bit, but it just also like worked as what they were trying to do. And like I said, I'm like, you could throw all these actors together again in an interconnected like way to kind of build on this like ridiculous, like just like make the title go on forever. The woman across the street from the girl in the window who was really killed by the little girl, but like just it's like continuing, like and then the woman got on the plane and witnessed another murder, but maybe she didn't do it, but maybe she did, but maybe she wakes up in outer space in a pod after being cryogenically frozen.
Oh my gosh. Weren't there like movies in the 2000s where like they would spoof something but give it a stupid long title? I feel like there was at least one movie like that.
Something like, yeah, they're like superhero spoofs, and yeah, they did a lot of.
Now we're gonna do streaming spoofs.
Yes. So what was this one? This one was the woman in the house across the street from the girl in the window whose father or something, just like some outrageous, the girl in the window whose best friend was murdered last week by the dog across the down this cul-de-sac.
Down the cul-de-sac. And then they're in space.
But it's all a dream because
it's all a dream.
And then another ellipses, but it's all a dream.
We just need Kristen Bell in space. That's it.
Yes. How come she hasn't been in space? Has she been in space?
Not that I know.
Kristen Bell, go to space.
Right, just go to space.
Just go to space. We'll watch you do anything.
Right, take a GoPro. They last a long time and they can handle it.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining me in this fun just encapsulation recap of the show on Netflix. You could watch. It's there. All of it's there. You can watch it in one sitting. It's very easy to watch in one sitting if you haven't watched it, but you should have watched it, because if you're watching this, you know what happened.
If you're watching this, you should
Spoiler
really be
alert,
watching
right?
that.
Yes. But if you're also watching this and you've only watched it once, watch it again because you do pick up on all the little things and all the clues about Emma being the real killer, and it works because you can see her motivation. The was because like sometimes kids be like that. They're innocent until they're not. And with that, we'll close out tonight. I'm Sabina Graves. You'll find me here, NomTom Network, and on Twitter and on IO9 as well. Mike, tell the people where people can find you.
You can, Michael Lee, you can find me at That's It LA, We Live Entertainment, The Nerds of Color, Geeks of Doom, and my social handles are I am Michael J. Lee.
Stephanie.
Oh God, you can find me here at Nom Talk Network on Twitch, at Nom Talk Network on YouTube, no, it's just Nom Talk Network. Facebook, I think we have a Twitter? I think we might get a TikTok, but no matter what, it'll be on Nom Talk Network.
Yes, and we will be back soon with some more basic binges with a lot of content coming at you at Nom Talk Network.
Yeah, tune in on Friday. We're gonna have Nom Watch review Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warrior.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Yay.
Very cool.
Okay, bye.
Until next time, goodbye.
Bye.